Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to another episode of Intuitive Creator Spotlight. I am Stella, your host, and in this playlist, I invite amazing intuitive creators who truly embraced who they are, their path, their journey, and now are on a mission to help other people connect with themselves and with the world. Today, I have here with me Carmela. She is a spiritual artist, she's an author, a self-healing advocate whose work just dives into art and journaling, intuition, and soul deep compassion. Hi, Carmela. Welcome to this episode.
Hi, Stella. Nice to be here today.
I'm super happy and I'm very much looking forward to this conversation because I know your journey is very interesting, very inspiring. There was a lot of self discovery on your path. So I cannot wait for us to dive into all of this beautiful, magical experience for you. Can you take us back to a moment when you realized that art can become a healing tool for yourself and others?
The moment that happened to me, it was when I was in stressful situations. I was going through a divorce, there was lockdown, my daughter was having struggling with mental health issues. So it was really a ripple effect to me. So I tried to be connected. I stayed connected in many ways, and I was learning online at the time during that period. Also, there was that factor of worrying about the future at the time, but also worrying about my future because I couldn't work. Everything was shut, and being an artist then, running workshops in person, everything was closed. So I sort of feared, oh my God, what's going to happen to me? So I suppose it was a ripple effect of these intensive emotions that felt like unbearable. And all of a sudden, I started tidying up. I started doing things. I started going for a walk. I was very restless, but still didn't know how to um, reconcile with my own energy, let's say. Um, I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know who I wanted to be. And it was very, very hard to sit down and stay still because the kids were home, the ex was at home, everybody was at home. We were in such a confined space that I couldn't express myself. So I suppose that triggered that massive feeling of emotion, overwhelm, and anxiety in me. Then when I was tidying up and trying to make the rooms more comfortable so I could feel at ease and have my space. I needed my space those times. I found all those colors, those papers, my daughter old pencils case and all that. I don't know, it just triggered something in me. I always wanted to be an artist as a child. As they all say, my father said, oh, no, 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 artists make no money and it's not a profession. You need to study. So I suppose that little seed inside of me as a young child, and it just opened up like a Pandora box. So this beauty, I don't know, you can't explain what happened. It triggered that moment of, yeah, they're not here anymore to judge me. Why not? I can do what I like.
Mm.
So I start hiding, really, hiding from the kids. I will start coloring and drawing, and I would have thought it was a doodle. To me, it was just a scribbling, doodling, having moment to myself, to reconnect with myself, really. I start dealing with my own, let's say, worries, anxiety, and future energy. It was a bit all over the place. I start dealing with that and putting that on paper. Really, that's the best I can explain. It was all on paper. It all became like a need. I had this need of getting it out of my body to release it, and they all ended landed on paper. So can I explain? There's no other way to explain it. There was a urge, really, a surge of, oh my God, I need to do something. And so by grabbing a pencil, a pen, and whatever I had, oh my God, these papers, oh yes, I'm going to put them aside, tidy them up, leave them in a box so the kids can't see what I'm doing. There was a mischievous behavior as well, like, oh my God, what am I saying from that? I'm clearing at my age, like I'm mom, I'm supposed to be a grown up. I can't be a childlike. And I think that behavior, mischievous behavior, really seriously helped me a lot to sort of function, express, have a voice, really, in a different way. That was my voice. That was my child coming out of me. That was me. No one could see what I was doing. It was just my thing. And preciously put in a box. So I will open that box every time that I will feel uncomfortable. And that really, as it all started, not very simple. I didn't have any fancy painting, nothing, nothing at all. Just pencil case, like a kid's pencil case, coloring crayons and name it. There was. And it was all supposed to be, oh my God, are you using them, darling? No, okay, we can recycle them, but it never happened because they went into my box. They became mine. I acquired them, and that's it. I haven't stopped since. That was really quite something. The inner child, I must say, I discovered my inner child. Yeah.
Mhm. It's
And that
very
was the
interesting
best I
how
could do.
certain messages from the past, like the one related to money, like you have to have a profession because this doesn't make you money in life or doesn't give you success. So those kind of messages, they transform into very strong beliefs that we carry with us. And if we like, it's a choice, right? We can choose to continue to have them and never look at changing them. That's totally fine. It's a choice. But when you start just really, you want to dive deep into what else is there for me, and then it brings all of this behavior, like you said, mischievous behavior, and you want to just go and play and have fun and explore. You remember who you are because, as you said, you wanted to be an artist since you were a child. And yes, you started taking all of these crayons and playing with them during the pandemic. But really, it just sounds like you were remembering all of these things about yourself. So I know you said that you were hiding everything from your kids. When they eventually found out, what was their reaction? What do they think about your journey now?
They now they my daughter, she's a fan, my number one fan now. So it's quite a few years later. When they discovered that, I was quite uncomfortable, and but she was the youngest. Obviously, my son is a bit more older. She actually looked at them and she said, "Mom, they are so cool." That was the only thing she said. That was the only expression she could give it to. And I said, "Oh, so do you like my doodle then?" She goes, "How, how?" She was fascinating because she couldn't understand this is a doodle, but it's not a doodle. She was trying to explain in her own words. I never seen a doodle so pretty, or I never seen a doodle like that. And so she was quite encouraging to a certain extent. My son, and boys are boys. He goes, "Oh yeah, they're nice. They're nice, playing." But now I can ask her opinion as she's studying media as well. So she's my photographer, my event organizer. She actually collaborates with me. She's my number one fan. She travels with me. But she goes to me, I just ask her opinion for things. I said, "What do you think of this series and collection?" Which is my work, but now I'm just preparing catalogs because I'm
Mhm.
doing exhibitions. So that's the next step. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I've got so much work because remember, since lockdown I started, it was an endless behavior to release the emotions. It was so strong, the whole thing. It addition, not leave without my pasta, without my books. Everything I found around, I had to draw on it. in a corner of Post-it, and it became just purely an addiction. Flower, the smell of the flower would trigger to me something to color, something to express on paper, or a vision, or a thought, or podcast that I listened to, or a conversation, a documentary will trigger an emotion which I had to express. It was just endless, endless. The things people talking, like in my networking, I used to do though. Well, I thought it was to do, but it's not. Then it's just, I had to have a pen or a pencil in my hand. More than just drawing and coloring, like an addiction. And this stays more or less, but because I can control it now as a spiritual artist. But at the time, I didn't know what was happening. I just had to do it. It was just an innate um, prompt that I had to do it. Now looks at it, she goes, "Oh my God, I really like this. Oh, that's quite different." And she's very not judgmental. She's very appreciative to say, "Wow, this is nice. I really like this collection or this series." It was just, "Oh, cool, Mum. Can you help me do it?" Oh, and I was trying to teach her. She was too young, supposedly, and she wasn't interested. But now I'm just experimenting and doing different things, because as we went along, then you just change, not change. I suppose you don't change. You just express yourself in a different way with different mediums. Now I'm using different mediums, also because of my I just say my health situation. So my health condition. So I had to adapt to other medium, I had to experiment on things, and I can talk about it for people listening, how you can do that, because I do lots of talks about this kind of subject. Because as an artist, I never regarded myself as an artist, but it's only recently, yes, I'm thinking, yeah, you are. Why you downsize yourself? Why you self-doubt yourself? You are, because people that they've been seeing my art all along during those years, they had comment like, "Oh my God, I'd like to have that in my living room. Oh, are you selling it?" So it just, they put that little seed, said, "So I'm not too bad after all, isn't it?" Because I never, ever thought that that kind of art would be resonate with people. I thought it was my thing. And I was even feeling very not emotional, but fearful. What people going to think of me if I tell them in which moment in time I created that piece? How are they going to react if I tell them, "Oh my God, I'm so worried that I start Googling and that piece came out?" Although they think, "Oh my God, it's beautiful." But what about if they're going to start, the judgment, your mind is always coming back to you. And there was that voice telling you, "Oh, what about if they judge you because that piece is not really a positive piece? Is out of a negative emotion they came out, and yet it's beautiful and people like it." So I start having the other chatter in my head saying, "Oh, why you, to say that's a beautiful bit, you can be an artist." So yes, it was a progress, isn't it? Work in progress all along, still doubting, although people were appreciating the art, were commenting on it. They always told me, "Oh, are you selling it? Um, how did you do it? How did you come about?" They wanted to know, how did I come out with a piece like that? And I didn't know how to express, because obviously that was me, my emotion. How can you express, tell somebody, "Oh, well, I was depressed that particular day," or "I was feeling very low," or "I didn't know what to do and I got some pencil and started drawing." Do you see what I mean? It's so hard, to express yourself by voice, and I do it on paper instead. Yeah.
Yes, and I know I definitely understand what you mean, because when you create, when you sit down and do something, as in like expressing yourself, expressing the energy
Yeah.
you're experiencing, it's your own moment. And what you've done a lot of healing. And even if I totally understand, maybe there was a sad moment or you've been upset on something and you've created that piece of art, but what happened for you in that moment was healing. And maybe that's what they perceive it as. We have a painting in our living room, and it's an abstract one. I love to look at like all of the different shapes and stuff. And my favorite part is when people come into our living room and they look at it and they say, "What's there?" And I'm like, "What do you see?" And I think that's the most beautiful thing, because our job as intuitives, creators, is to channel and allow and express. But then once it's there in the world, it's for everybody to take it in the way that it resonates with them. And I absolutely love that through your own healing process and journey, you created the space for your daughter to see that that's okay. You didn't, you were, you, as you progressed, as you evolved, she saw that in you. And I absolutely believe that this is such an important part, especially when it comes to generational healing. So that's really, really beautiful to hear. And to everyone who's listening, please make sure that you're checking out the description of this video to know how you can connect with Carmela and all of her amazing work. So would you like to tell us, Carmela, what kind of art do you usually work on? Because you mentioned you have the exhibitions and you go to these places. What kind of art do you share with the world in those spaces?
I am on a third solo exhibition, which will happen this year in London because I live in Southeast, so in Greenwich area. So it will be on my website for invite, for the opening evening. I will be showing, again, I haven't given a title yet, but the past 2 years, I have titled my exhibition Healing Art because I was given that name as the most appropriate. So, and many people, when I do meet the artist at the library, because it's in a library, so they connect with that type of art. And they are very curious to come around and ask me, what does it, although they see the title, they say, oh, that's a beautiful title, but how did you come about? And there is a story behind it, and they're quite fascinating by the fact and they get attracted to my art or a particular piece because they are experiencing what I did. And that's so rewarding for me because by connecting in the past, when I created those pieces, I was told that my art would be an healing tool for others. So whoever would buy it will be an healing tool for them. They will connect with the art and they will experience healing. And so I had to believe that, although I was hiding in the closet saying, oh my God, I can't say that to people. But that's real. That's spiritual. That's real. And that's what I am. I help people to connect with their own soul through art. And
Oh.
I kind of express in a different way because that's what I do. And
Mm.
it's proven to me time and time again in my exhibition, my online work, onto networking. When they check my piece, they go, "Oh my God, I really like that." And then when I send them the title or the description, they recognize their own struggle or their own healing process through the art piece. And I'm always fascinated by this connection with, with my audience, really.
It is fascinating. And also the fact that you mention how you bring healing through your art. And I know that it took, we had a conversation before and you mentioned, that it took a while for you to actually come forward in the world and say, okay, this is who I am, and I bring spirituality and healing and all these beautiful things through my art. And I also know that you've been working on your oracle deck, the 12. Would you like to talk to us about um, why do you feel that it took you so long, first of all, like to come to this place of like, I'm just gonna share now, I'm ready now to express. And once you reached that point, how did you feel? And then you started creating all of these amazing things like the Oracle deck.
The oracle deck is quite something very special to my heart. It was my little jewel. It happened through a meditation progress. I sat in meditation because I was going through some family struggles, but really heavy ones. So there was like a forgiveness, there was lots of compassion, there was lots of healing I had to do. And so I sat in meditation constantly, praying to help me, to forgive people. And that was all about family matters at the time. So I was very patient to sit in meditation every day until I had this visitation from different beings. Let's say you will be the first one to hear this. So they haven't even come out and I haven't even done any podcast about it, but I'd like to, as I connect with you, I think your podcast will be the best, to say the little nuts. Yeah, before we publish them. So the 12 are in the process of being printed, test printed, because of the artwork concept. And it's all done in a special medium, which is pastels, soft pastels. And because of my disability, I could not use the brushes anymore. So I've had this struggle to accept that as an artist, I couldn't use my hands for a long period of time. So that was something that threw me out and made me really challenge and wonder, if I can't be doing my artist work, what I'm supposed to do. So I sat in meditation asking for help, and then mainly prayers. I prayed and said, okay, I'm an artist. I don't want to stop just because I've got my hands, they permanently damaged and I can't do things for too long. So that really triggered the moment of being patient and sat down for healing. And there was an emotional level, there was a forgiveness, you just see your life going through and said, oh, maybe I should have done this, I shouldn't do this. Your mind is going 100 miles an hour. And yet I sat in meditation, if I liked it or not. And all of a sudden, I had this visitation, and I became, well, I became, they, um, they start to heal me, let's say. Okay, without going into details, because that would be revealed, into the masterclass for people that they want to purchase the deck, so they will know how special it is. So I had this visitation. So we had a period of healing together with those beings, and then I start doing the art. 12 days later, that's why it's called the 12. 12 days later, I start drawing the art with this new method with my fingertips. So I start blending the soft pastel on paper with fingertips, because that was the only method. They actually asked me to say, you're not done yet. You've got work to do. Get your pastels. You are ready now. So that was the message.
Mm.
So reluctantly, I got it, and more or less in a trance
Mm.
form, it all revealed. So that was composed by 51 days of meditation, 51 cards for the Oracle deck. It was a substantial amount of meditation and period of time where I sat in meditation. Something felt like 5 minutes, it was 2 hours later. I came out of meditation in a trance. So there was lots of meditation, personal stuff for me, messages. There is a array of meditation which I'm going to record for the deck, which they've given me. And I've got 51 days, 51 cards. And that's it, how it came about. It's something just mind blowing for people, and they've seen the real work. So it has been a big challenge to find a printer that I can match the original work to make it more, more connective to your own soul. And really, is a tool. I was given as a tool of people that they want to self-develop in spirituality. So it's personal.
Mm.
So it's not like for reading for the collective. Yes, it is, but that's not the purpose. The purpose is for your own self-development, to get to know yourself more, to heal, because it's a healing deck, to heal yourself and to obviously going through meditation. And I can mentor people. I will be mentoring people on that for the beginning when they first buy the deck. So yes, this is probably, it took me over a year to accept they should have been on the market, it should be published. So I started the process a year ago
Mm.
because I was scared, I was fearful, as everything else. We know, oh my God, people are going to think I'm going nuts. Then I speak to the invisible world, and then, all that kind of things. So it's a very special deck. And as much as I was scared to publish it, I had so many signs, so many vision, so many things that happened to me that had to be done. I had no choice to accept that this was a gift from, how can we say, the gift from the universe to the world, not for me, to the world, because
Mm.
that healed me, but also is for others to be healed. So it's a self-development tool, and it's something I never had. I wish I had in my early journey. I
Mm.
could have had something like that where I could learn, pull a card and learn about myself, how my spirit world works, how I can connect. There's lots of teaching in this deck. And yes, you can pull a card for your business. You can pull cards for yourself mainly. It's something mind blowing. There is an experience when there will be 50 special editions. The first 50 will be a special edition. So they will have rituals, connection, meditations. There will be a big thing because I was told it has to be that way because it's a special day. And to be honest, it's not for everybody. If you want to use it as a reading, it's not what it's for. And I'm
Mm.
going to be straightforward to say, if that's your intention, maybe it's not. Buy something else, because it's not about buying. It's about delivering something special, profound, and healing for people to, in bracket, resuscitate them into their new understanding, believing in the awakening that they need.
Mm.
So I'm not really looking for people. I'm just going to put it there. And I know the people then they will be drawn to, they will be the right one to do it with me, to go through with me, with the
Mm.
masterclass, with the special experience we're going to have. There will be lots of gifts with the
Mm.
deck because I've been told I needed to have a special for the first 50. So they will be the one that they will be purchasing a special edition, and they will have lots of little perks. Yeah.
Mm. Wow, there has been so much dedication in this process, dedication to your own healing journey. And this is special because you sat with what was coming through. And more than that, you are being honest with yourself. First of all, what is this piece of beautiful art? What is this deck about? Who is it for? And yes, I agree. Like, if you look at any product in this world, they are not for everyone. We are unique beings with unique journeys. And also, like, when somebody finds a book or a deck or a piece of art, they would normally find that when they need it the most, when they
Yeah.
need that process of healing. And this is just incredible. And also, another thing that I just find it fascinating, based on what you mentioned, that, at some point you realized you can't use your brushes anymore. But during the time when you were able to use the brushes, you had to go through a lot of healing and spiritual awakening. And it's like you reached that beautiful golden moment in your life when you were able to combine everything and bring all of your skills and gifts and your journey, everything, to create this beautiful masterpiece. And to everyone who's watching, please, I know I mentioned it before, but please check out the description of this video to know how you can connect with this amazing, amazing work that Carmela has been focusing on. You might find this video immediately after it's published, or years after it's published. So make sure that you go on and check her website. So as we're wrapping up this episode, Carmela, if you would share one thing, one idea or advice or anything that comes to you, if you would share with our viewers, what would that thing be?
Um, just if you've got a desire or a dream and it's from your heart or it resides into your heart and you never told anybody, which is good because sometimes it's nice and precious if you don't tell people. And it's not, I'm not talking about like in a jealousy point of view, nastiness. No, it's nice to have that desire and dream to be treasured into your heart. And when you're ready, you can ask help, and that desire is gonna manifest. That's what I learned in my journey. You can manifest anything, but it has to be from your heart. So if your heart desire is strong enough for you to become a better person and for helping others or for giving, something in exchange, because we all work with energy, we're all in a collective. So everything will open for you. What opportunity will open, everything will, you will, I'm hearing the catalysts. You're going to be catapulted into this new world and you will be you. No one can stop you, and you will be you at the full blast, enjoying your life and having the happiness you are looking for. It's all in your heart. Just find that desire, find that dream which you buried when you were young, a year ago, 2 years ago, because of the family, because of raising the family. We sometimes put ourselves second, third, fourth. No, just go back, put your hands on your heart and feel that dream again, feel that desire, what you really, really want to do and achieve. Because age is not limit. It's not your limit. You can do it anytime. You can create and manifest anytime. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so, so much for this beautiful message and for your presence in this interview. And to everyone who's watching us, thank you for watching. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like this video, let us know your thoughts, and thank you again for being here today with us. See you again next time. Bye.